Hello and welcome to the Luxury Lounge. That's right, every Thursday we head in the lounge, we shut the door, and we air our grievances with the world. And there's no such thing as a grievance that's too big or too small or too frivolous. Your grievance is the right grievance, and we are here to agree with you, to commiserate with you, to enjoy the sound of a wine. We love a good complaint here. And if you want your complaint read in the Luxury Lounge, you send it to JTrain Podcast at gmail.com. That's JTrain Podcast at gmail.com. Title it Luxury Lounge. Give us a little taste of what you're talking about in the title, and then get into it. We love specificity. We love a specific complaint. Those are wonderful. We like a quick complaint, short ones. We want to make sure it's the index finger and the thumb. You make it into a little bracket, and that's how long it should be. I got Shelby on the ones and twos. He's reading all your emails. He's the man behind the curtain. He's back there reading them all day long by candlelight. It's a beautiful thing. And listen, if you enjoy the show, you're going to enjoy coming to a live show. People, this weekend I'm in Springfield, Missouri. Go to jaredfreid.com, get those tickies, okay? And next week, a couple announcements. This is my personal marketing device. If you're listening right now, I think the TED Talk should be out, but I've been being told that for a while now. But go to my YouTube. You can watch full episodes of this podcast, Hi YouTube Land, on YouTube. You can also watch all the behind the scenes from Reno, where I did the TED Talk. There's 4 parts. There's going to be a 5th part that comes out with the TED Talk. So get subscribed to the YouTube channel. Also, live shows, jaredfreid.com, jaredfreid.com, jaredfreid.com. Springfield, Missouri. Then I'm coming to Austin next week for a U Up Live. Coming to Providence, Raleigh, Chicago, U Up Live, New York City, U Up Live, Dayton, Brooklyn. I'm doing the Chosen Comedy Festival. A bunch of Jews telling jokes. Chosen Comedy Festival in Brooklyn, New York, Irvine, California, Washington, D.C., Royal Oak, Michigan, Albany, Brookfield, Wisconsin. People, come. jaredfreid.com. That's where you get the tickies. Assemble the group chat. We're having a blast at our live shows. Very excited to be here in the lounge with our guests. First time in the lounge. Welcome.
Thank you. Excited to be here, to be invited in. I got the day pass.
You have the day pass. You've been invited.
Thank you.
We shut the door behind you. There's no conversation. Josh Gondelman, the head writer for Jesus and Marrow.
That's right.
You're what we call a get.
Thank
the
you.
business.
Well, I'm so happy to be here. That's very flattering.
Yes.
I feel like, happy to be gotten.
Yes, this is great. Jesus and Marrow.
Yes.
If you would explain it to someone, how would you explain that show? Because I know it's very popular.
Yeah.
But it's also like it all of a sudden it existed to me.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Yes.
that kind of happens with our entertainment stuff. All of a sudden 3 people tell you about it, and they're like, wait a minute, there's 6 seasons?
And then you see it on a magazine cover.
Yeah.
Right. Totally. Well, so Jesus and Marrow started out together doing they were both active online. Twitter personalities, people knew of them. Message boards even before that, I think. But when they started working together, they had a web series on Complex.
Okay.
And then they moved. They had a podcast called Bodega Boys. I don't know if that's still active, but the podcast called Bodega Boys, super funny. And then they had an earlier version of the show on Viceland.
I remember
Vice
the
TV
Viceland.
Yeah. And so they kind of had this very quick rise because when they came together, they were really fully formed. Their shows it's a late night show, but they're super riffy. And Jesus is a Jamaican dude from the Bronx. Marrow's a Dominican dude from the Bronx. They're super funny. Their chemistry together is unbelievable. And they're really smart, really fast. And so the show is similar in structure in terms of hey, we're going to talk about stuff that happened this week. But they just riff so much more, and they'll talk about stories that maybe is not on the radar of a Stephen Colbert.
So hold on. So Dominican from the Bronx, Jamaican from the Bronx come together to have a late night show.
Sure.
And you're the head writer.
Jewish guy from Boston. Truly constantly getting yelled at just about Yankees are going to fucking win it all this year. And I'm like, hey man, I don't play for the other team.
Whatever you say, boss, I work for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's I've been with them since they moved to Showtime. So that's where the show is now and has been for the last 3.5 years.
Do people, and I asked you this before when you said you have a story, people must go, you're the, if they know the show, they must not think you would be the head writer.
So at first that was for sure true. Especially seasons 1 and into season 2, I would even get announced that way at at shows, right? They'd be like writer producer for Jesus and Mero, and I would get on stage and you would see just like a black kid in the front row laughing and being like, no, which is like very, and I'm like, yeah, I get it. Like if you know what that means, you don't expect me either.
Also, if you're, I mean, it would be funny to think of the type of person that would think the Jews run Hollywood.
Right. Yeah. And like,
also wouldn't
even
know.
That show? Right.
Well, but they also wouldn't know Jesus and Mero,
Right.
I would assume. Like, but
For
it would
sure.
be funny to
For
have
sure.
this in the know person who's
I knew it
also a
was gonna be a
conspiracy
Jewish
theorist. It's like, I've been telling you,
Right.
these Jews are running Hollywood. I watch Jesus and Mero every week.
What they need to do is leave the people of color to create without the voices of whiteness sullying their work. It's just like a
come all
guy
the
in a
way.
top hat, big 10-gallon hat, shooting
This
pistols.
anti-Semitism brought them all the way down to wokeness.
Yeah, fully progressive, except hates the Jews.
Yeah, that's it.
So now, because I've been a part of the show for like over 3 years and I've done some on-camera stuff with them, people know me as a part of the show.
You're a character.
I'm a character. And it's funny that recently I've started to get recognized from that in a way that like had never happened before. Like usually if somebody recognizes me, which is not that common,
Sure.
it'll be like, oh, I've heard you on the radio for Wait, Don't Tell Me. I've listened to your podcast.
I follow you from Twitter.
Follow you from Twitter.
You gave me a pep talk.
Yeah, pep talks on Twitter, like something, this podcast, like stuff like that. But recently I was at this like Caribbean restaurant and bar it was further south in Brooklyn than I live, and there were 3 people sitting at the table. It was like a long family style table, and as I get up to leave, this young woman, it was 3 younger black people, and this one woman goes, "Hey, can you settle a bet before you go?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And they're like, "Do you work with Jesus and Mero?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then there's this other guy across the table. She goes, "He didn't believe me." And he goes, "I had a bad angle." As if like, obviously we should know he's that white guy.
I mean, that is on like the bingo chart. That's a tough one to get. You
It
know,
felt
that
pretty
Josh
good.
Gondelman got recognized in a Caribbean place.
Yeah. People
Yeah.
would not, but again, people who either know me or the show wouldn't
Yeah.
assume that. But now I think people understand that it's, there's like, that I'm
No,
part of it.
at a
which
certain
is fun.
point, it becomes, of course.
Yes. And-
you know, in the beginning, it's like, wait a minute, these things all don't
Yeah.
go together, and then then you become a character in the show, and they go, oh yeah, of course, that's
And
how it goes.
There is crossover, right? Like there's stuff that I'm not in there being like, okay, act 1 tonight, it's going to be 17 minutes on gefilte fish. Like I'm there to like help them bring their vision to life.
Sure.
And there's like a pretty substantial cultural crossover between like sports and music and
Yes.
sneakers and
Sneakers.
stuff that we're on a fairly similar wavelength, even though we're coming
No,
at it from
it makes
different
sense if
reference
you
points.
know you.
Yeah.
You know, again, Josh Gondelman works
Yeah.
on Jesus and Mero and
Right.
is the head writer.
Yeah.
You know, it's quite a sentence.
Yes, it is. Like I think it's a sentence that my parents are still like, what does that mean?
I mean, that's my parents with most
With
things I
everything.
do.
Right.
Listen, on that subject.
Yes.
Okay, on the subject of things parents might not get.
Yeah.
You have a comedy special.
I do.
It's called People Pleaser.
Yeah.
And we want everyone. We've done this before. I don't want to. People are coming on here to sell their wares, so to speak.
Sure.
This is the bazaar, and you
Should
come
be
on.
picking up haggling.
Yeah. So you have a special, but I say on the subject of parents not getting stuff,
Yeah.
because it's streaming.
Yes.
So it's like, if I told my parents, okay, get your Roku out, they'd be like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
right now?
yeah,
So
yeah.
this is we want people here to go watch the special. It's fantastic. It's hilarious. Josh is amazing. It's called People Pleaser, and you can get it on Apple.
Apple TV, you can get it. YouTube, you can rent it. Vimeo, Amazon Prime, like it's at all the places that you rent or purchase things to watch.
And I'm sure you have a link tree. We're going to
Yes,
put it in
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
description of the episode.
Yep.
Shelby, we're going to make sure we have it in the description of the episode. And we want everyone to go watch it. What a great date night. What a great people pleaser. I can imagine. Knowing you, I feel like that speaks to you
Yeah.
in a certain way.
I mean, I kind of shoehorned that phrase into the special to use it as the title because it felt very like my hope is that a lot of people that don't know my stand-up
Yeah.
kind of stumble across it or find it or like are referred to it as like, hey, you've got an hour, you're at home tonight, you don't want to go to, you're looking for the thing to watch, this is what to do. And so I chose it as a title because I feel like it gives people the vibe of like what my comedy is like. I just
Absolutely.
let's have a good time.
Yeah, let's have a good time. It's funny, it's happy, it's a great. You're gonna have a great time. Go watch the special. Everyone go at Josh Gondelman on Instagram, right?
Yep, at Josh Gondelman on Instagram, Twitter.
It's all over there. We'll have it shared on my social media. But you know, it's funny because you're like my goal, and it's like everyone that comes on here. The goal is that you, Mr. or Mrs. YouTube watcher, you, Mr. or Mrs. Listener, go follow them. You know that and then you go, oh my God, this joke made my day better. You know, like that's what it's all about. I had a woman, I met her yesterday. I'm having a drink. She recognized me, and I'm sitting there, and she goes, "Oh, you're on the road a lot. Now you're doing shows." I go, "Well, I've always been doing shows."
Yeah.
And she goes, well, you know, you did the internet thing and then you started doing shows from the internet thing. I'm like, no, that's not. I do the internet thing so you get to the shows.
So people know about the shows.
Yeah,
right. I think, well, because there are people that go the other way and there's no like harm with that. But I also think there's like something that's especially cool when people who have been doing stand-up for a long time find a way to like show it off at a bigger scale and level.
Yes.
Like I've known you've been doing stand-up at least since I moved to New York, which is like 11 years ago.
Absolutely.
And crushing around the city. And then this, like all the other stuff you do points people back towards your stand-up where you're just like on the road destroying. And like people that like this the podcasts and the other shows that you do are always going to love your stand-up.
That's the thing is like, you know, you don't want to, my biggest fear is going on the road and having someone go, I don't know why we even came here. I don't even know what the fuck happened here. Like, you know, and and it's like that fear keeps me doing stand-up, you know?
Right.
Like,
well, because once people are buying tickets for you, I feel like there's some people feel it as if like the pressure's off. I got him in the door.
No.
And I feel like, oh, the pressure's on. Like they have expectations.
I think people that start in stand-up have that pressure.
Yes.
I think when it goes the other way, it can go the other way.
Yes.
It can go, oh, I do internet stuff, and then now I'll do stand-up.
Yep.
I think when your goal was always to do stand-up,
Yeah.
you get like, you're like, this better be fucking, people better show up and enjoy the stand-up.
And you're like, oh, this is the thing that I do. Like, this is the thing I've always done. And so people who like this, the other flavors of this, are going to love this thing I've been practicing to put in front of them for like a decade plus.
Totally.
No, again, nothing against people who started doing internet things and then move into live performance. But I do think
it can happen.
It totally can happen. And people can be really great at it. But I'm always like, oh, when someone has been doing stand-up before people know of them from other stuff, I'm always like, ooh, I'm a little extra excited to see what that stand-up is.
Totally. Let's get to our complaints. We're here in the Luxury Lounge, JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. Before every episode, we start with our own complaints.
Yeah.
Do you have a complaint that you can start with?
Let me think.
Well, let me do my complaint.
Please.
And then we'll get into yours.
Okay, let's do it.
Hit the music, Shelby. Jared, he has some problems. Jared, he's got some issues to do. Get off his chest right now. Jared has a lot of issues. Jared has a issue with a lot of things that we can discuss. Can you relate to the problem now? Okay, so here's my issue.
I'm at DJ Khaled produced that, right?
Yeah, that's a DJ Khaled original. Listen, I don't like to brag. I don't like to name drop.
I've seen the video. You're in a jet ski in Miami.
That's right. Problem now. Here's my issue, and it's the same person that had this conversation with me at the bar. I'm at the bar.
Yes.
I'm there alone.
Yes.
Which I like going to a bar alone. I'm okay with that. That sounds like I'm not okay with it.
It's fine. I'm not trying to forget anything.
I'm sitting there. I mean, to me, sitting at a bar on my phone, kind of like numbing out.
Yep.
is a really nice time.
Very pleasant little while.
Totally pleasant. So I'm at the bar, but it's busy. And I sit down, and two women next to me, I made a huge mistake. There was one woman next to me, they're both very cute. The woman at the end, I look at her, I go, I think, and I thought she was someone else.
Okay.
And I go, hey. She takes off her sunglasses. I go, I'm sorry. I thought you were someone else. She goes, no, we know each other. She goes, I follow you on Instagram. I'm like, here we go. So now I'm like in with this person in a way that we've started. I haven't even sat down yet. Now we're immediately like besties at the bar. And I'm like, oh, this isn't the experience I wanted at all.
Sure.
So then I sit down and go, oh, and we have a nice interaction. It goes okay. Hi, nice to see you. Here, let me get your name. Who'd you think I was? Oh, you guys have the same type of hair. Whatever. We get over that. We have a nice conversation. And it's like, but now it's like us three at the bar. As opposed to, I want it me.
Yes.
Them two.
Yep.
Right?
Now you're at a little party.
Right. And kind of being included with their plan.
Sure.
Like they start talking to people and they're two women at a bar, like looking to meet people.
Yep.
And they go, oh, and this is Jared. Like, I'm getting introduced. No,
right.
I don't want in. I want...
And it's no offense.
No offense.
It's just like, this is not the activity that I showed up.
I showed up for head, drink, phone, me.
Yep.
So over the course of the next hour, I'm talking to them, but like our conversation is somewhat done.
Yeah.
She starts going... Jared, are you okay? I'm going, yeah. She goes, you're just being so quiet. And it's like, I came here to be quiet.
Yes.
I came here to not raise. Talking to people takes a certain amount of eye energy.
I've heard that from doctors.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Right. You're right. Eye contact and like active listening.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be the guy that's just like,
Yeah. You don't want to be a miserable, sad sack.
Right. And I think it's like the difference is it's like nicer and more conscientious to be like, I'm out or I'm in.
Yes.
Right. Rather than to be like, oh, you keep pulling me in and that's why you think I'm having a bad time. It's because I'm doing a different thing than you are.
Totally.
Yeah.
But every 5 minutes, are you okay? Are you okay? And the more someone asks you if you're okay, the more their reality is right and yours is wrong. Now you're defending yourself. No, I'm fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. No, you seem off. You seem sad. I'm like, no, I'm not here to fucking, juggle and dance for you.
Right. And we're not starting off our night as three friends out in the world.
Yes.
You're like carved out this slice of your night to be like, I'm going to sit, I'm going to have a drink, I'm going to scroll a little bit, catch up on what my friends are doing this weekend.
You know what? You make a fantastic point. If we had started at the same, if we had started with texting each other, hey, let's get together at the bar and hang out. Then I showed up to the bar and I'm just on my phone, not talking to them.
Very
they would
uncool.
go, what's wrong with Jared?
Yeah.
That would be correct.
Very uncool.
It is incorrect to then turn to someone who showed up on their own. We didn't make a plan to get together and is minding their own business going, are you okay? You seem sad.
Yeah.
No, I'm not sad.
Right.
And now I feel bad I'm not giving them enough.
Right. Because you can't say the honest thing, which is like, hey, or not that you can't. It's just much harder to be like, the thing that you're picking up on is that I came here to be by myself for an hour. And it was very nice to meet you.
Yes.
And I super appreciate your saying hi. And like, I even initiated because I thought you're someone else. But at this point, I'm trying to detach my part of the rocket ship and just drift off into space.
Yes, I am the Russian space station.
Yeah.
You were the carrier ship that brought, the people.
And I'll call you if I need repairs.
Totally. And if I need a little... And the thing is, we did talk for longer than the normal high.
Sure.
So, there couldn't be a release point that you're talking about.
It's tough.
I had to leave.
Yeah.
I legit, an hour later, I got up from the bar and I said to myself, I am leaving to avoid these people. Yes. And I don't hate them.
No.
Like if they listen to this, they'd be like, oh my God, this is horrifying.
Yeah, but it's not. They weren't being terrible.
No.
It was just like, they didn't realize that you were having a different night than they were.
Totally. And here's the reality. I am at that bar alone. to maybe meet a woman.
Sure.
So, but this conversation didn't go that way.
Right.
I am now looking for other women, other spaceships to attach to my space station.
Sure. Thank you for cleaning with this metaphor. Right. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and it just had no ending. The only ending was me removing myself from a good seat at the bar to nothing.
Yep.
Ended my day.
Yep. Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Was it late? Was it like a late night?
No, it was during the day.
Oh, got it.
But they were like a few drinks in.
Sure.
And I was on drink 1.
Well, that's always tough.
Tough.
I find even coming from a show, right? Like doing stand-up and then going to a party, even if you're not, like this, if you're not a performer, going to a party where you have to like catch the wave of other people 3 drinks in.
You're not there yet.
Yeah.
You're not there yet.
And people are like, all right, you got to talk to Steve.
Yeah, no.
And it's like, I can't have this level of conversation
I
right
am
now.
so sober that I can see every droplet of spit that you spit onto me while trying to get me to talk to Steve.
Yep.
And Steve isn't that great.
Yeah, he's fine.
Sorry, he's fine.
He's fine. And maybe if I were also 3 drinks in, I would want to hear his story about like, I don't know, like finding a puck outside Madison Square Garden and like, what the fuck is that puck doing there? But like, because I'm coming in sober from work, getting ready to like acclimate, I can't meet people at the scream level.
There should actually be a warm-up room for every party.
Yeah.
It should be, every party should have to have 2 rooms.
Yes.
An initial room, and then you enter into the warmed up room.
Yes.
Where you hear Steve's story. So everyone that's getting there first, you need 10 minutes in the warm up room. There's some white wine, there's like some light hors d'oeuvres, and then the red hot room, the warmed up room, is where the party happens.
Yes. And it's not always even just about like getting to the same level of drunk. It's just like when you're talking to people who are drunk, you have to bring yourself up to that level of like energy.
You're not stretched out.
Yeah. You gotta get limber.
You gotta get limber.
Practice those listening muscles.
That's
the
right.
nodding. Yeah.
Josh, do you have a complaint?
Yes. So this is the only complaint in my
music.
It's the guest's turn to complain.
It's your turn.
They're ready to jump in.
Josh was very ready.
I'm ready.
They've got lots of problems too. It ain't all about Jared. Let's hear their complaint of the day. Let's hear their complaint of the day. They're invited on the show to have some fun and complain with you. Let's hear that complaint.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And that was John Mayer.
Yes.
Playing blues guitar on
Johnny
that.
May comes in here every now and again.
Lays down some tracks.
Yeah, you're right.
Very nice of him. So here's my complaint. This is I'm on a little break from work, which has been nice. We got a summer off, which I'm happy about.
Love it.
The specials come out. People have been so nice about it.
Yep, People Pleaser. It's on all streaming services. Link is in the description of this episode.
And they and so everything's been like very lovely in the small picture. Big picture, everything is a nightmare.
Yeah, the macro view of the
macro
world
view, very
feels
bad.
a little bit daunting.
So, but in the small picture, the one thing that has been destroying my life, and it sounds so stupid to say,
No stupid in the lounge.
is that my dog has gone back to not sleeping at night.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So I have a 24-pound pug named
Yes.
Busy. She's like a soft cinder block. That's like her density and personality.
Yes.
And all day she sleeps on the couch. She's an angel. We take her for a couple walks. She goes to the corner and back. She doesn't need a ton of exercise. She's just like lazy, adorable.
She's the perfect speed for a Manhattan dog.
Very good city dog. Because she doesn't have a lot of outdoor needs, and most of the things that she wants can be handled in the
It's
apartment.
a breathing pillow.
Yes. Yeah. And her breathing is very loud, so we always know she's doing okay.
Yeah.
Because she sounds like...
You'll know she's died when the white noise machine goes away.
Yeah, rest in peace to a white noise machine. But she is constantly creating white noise in the apartment. She's very cute, very sweet. But at night, she's very old. She's about to turn 15.
15.
For
Okay.
a pug.
Yeah.
Which for a person is like being 7,000 years old. It's like, as old, you're like, science doesn't want this.
Yeah, this is a mistake.
And
Yeah.
she sleeps in bed with us since we got her. We got her when she was 8.
Okay.
So we've had her for 7 years, and she sleeps in bed with me and my wife. And because she wouldn't have it any other way, she would just scream all night if we wouldn't let her.
How does a pug scream?
She just yaps, and like normally I think with a dog, especially a puppy, right? They tell you to train them by like not caving when they bark. And that's great if you don't live in an apartment with like walls as thin as wallpaper.
Sure.
And so we feel very conscientious about that. And also when we got her, she was old enough that she's like, I'm going to break these motherfuckers. Like she wasn't like,
She knew
I'm a
what to do.
puppy. When people don't pay attention to me, I get tired. She's like, I have a plan and I'm
Yeah.
going to execute. So she knows, like, she just doesn't stop barking. She'll
Oh,
bark
no.
for like, she'll go for like 30 straight minutes. And so she'll go to bed
Yeah.
with us, and then she'll wake up like every 2 or 3 hours, and we have to like guess what she needs. And sometimes it's to go out, and she's so old now that I'm like, I don't think you're faking. I think you do need to go out.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to guess wrong, to like play chicken, and she just shits all over the house. So she has been the last resort thing that calms her down. We call it the covered wagon. We have 2 love seats instead of a long couch.
Okay.
I put her on the love seat. I tent my legs over her.
Okay.
And she sleeps under my legs. That calms her down in the middle of the night. And I just am like scrunched up on the love seat and try to sleep like a turtle on its shell.
If you're watching on YouTube, you can see Josh imitating this.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's truly horrendous.
So it's like, what, 4 a.m?
Yeah.
And you're fashioning your body into an angle.
To kind of a comfort apparatus for this angry dog.
This is amazing.
And so last night it didn't come to that.
And is busy barking if you
She's
don't do
barking
this?
if I don't, or yeah, usually it's barking.
And
'Cause
do your neighbors wake up and go, "What the fuck's going on?"
hopefully we've never had it with them that happens. And like there are other people in the building with dogs that we don't hear at night, and like babies that we don't hear at night.
Sure.
So I assume that like sometimes in the hallways I'll hear. So I go, oh, I assume the soundproofing in the building is pretty good, like within apartment to apartment in this place where we live now. When we got her, we were at a different place where we could constantly hear our neighbors listening to techno.
So you know, if I hear them, they hear me.
Yeah, that's kind of, and so I feel like it's probably not terrible for them, but we still like, if she's really at it and if she gets really agitated, and especially down the other end from the bedroom, like if she's just in the living room barking, I'm like, oh, I should take care of this.
Yeah.
So I've been sleeping horribly, and people always want to go, people with children are often like, well, you don't understand just because you have a dog. And I'm like, I think I do.
Yeah.
I understand as much as a dad.
Yes.
I don't have to breastfeed my dog. That's true.
Sure.
That's not expected of me. My body hasn't changed because I have this
It's
dog.
the lessening of your problems that's
Yes.
annoying, because for their baby, they might be, rocking it.
Yep,
They
for
may
sure.
be, but they don't have to walk it outside,
Mm-hmm.
then put their legs over it while laying on their back in a, in some sort of weird yoga pose.
Yeah.
So it's like, our problems are different.
Yes.
But let's not say that they're not similar.
Here's the other thing about it that I feel like people don't give pet people enough credit for, because I'm not like, oh, it's like raising a child, like the expense is different, the investment is different. Your dog
can't develop a drug problem,
Correct.
and then live with you at age 35.
Right. He's not going to be like, yeah, I'm getting the band back together.
Yeah,
And I'm
no,
like, come on.
that's never gonna happen with a dog.
But when a pet is at this age, like a baby, you're like, oh, they'll get more skills and they'll self-soothe and they'll sleep through the night. My dog, in the back of my head, what I know is that the only thing that changes this for the better for my sleep is this dog dying.
Dies.
And that's a different level of relationship.
Well, I guess I guess we've been comparing it to kids for so long that we forget that having an old dog is like having an old
relative.
person,
Yeah.
living with you.
It goes very quickly from like a puppy is like a baby,
Yes.
and then an old dog 15 years later, like before a kid would even like get a summer job.
Sure.
This dog is like having a grandpa.
Yeah, it's like having a grandpa who didn't save for their retirement. Now you're getting madder and angrier
Yep.
that they've become your
Yeah.
burden.
And then and my inheritance is just like a bunch of chewed on toys.
Well, listen, we agree with your complaint
Thank
here in
you.
the lounge.
Thank you.
We're here in the luxury lounge. We have many complaints. We're going to read them right now. You can send yours in jtrainpodcast@gmail.com. We're sponsor people. BetterHelp. You have to take care of your mind. We spend so much time taking care of our skin, our hair, our teeth. So little care of the most important part of the body, the brain. How well you take care of your brain affects how you experience life. Investing time and energy in mental health is crucial to being happy. Eating right, right. Working out and getting plenty of sleep are a good start, but there is no substitute for talk therapy. BetterHelp makes online therapy accessible, convenient, and affordable. That's the real point of BetterHelp. Here's the thing with BetterHelp. It is a great first toe into the therapy water, okay? Because it can feel daunting. Who do you go to? How am I going to pay for it? Do I have to go into this office that I don't recognize? What part of my day do I have available for it? BetterHelp is taking therapy and making it easier for you who, maybe it isn't at the front of your brain yet, but now you're like, oh, okay, well, now that it's available, I can use it. That's a great thing, and we're going to give you some free money. BetterHelp is online therapy that offers video, phone, and live chat therapy sessions. You can choose to not see anyone on camera. See, this is all about making it easier for you. It is much more affordable than in-person therapy. You can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. JTrain listeners get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/JTrain. That's BetterHelp, BetterHelp, betterhelp.com/JTrain. Love that. Okay, people. Ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go to the lounge. Luxury Lounge. No hungover genre on streaming services.
Okay.
Papa JT. I lay here on the couch this Sunday evening, hungover from the one tequila and beer I had last night. Welcome to your 30s, kids. I'm left baffled as to why none of the streaming services include a genre for hungover. I don't want to think about what I want to watch. I want to be told, and I want it to be an easy movie to play in the background as I lay here trying not to die, eating my entire kitchen to satisfy my incurable hunger. The kids get their own section. It's not right. Please help. Thank you for your service. I think this is a great point.
Important complaint.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so, because you need to be soothed. When I'm a hangover, I want everything in the world to get turned down to easy mode.
Yes. And as far as entertainment's concerned, there's so much choice now. Mm-hmm. We were like, I want to choose what I want to watch at any time, and then we got what we wanted. Yeah. And it's like a genie granted the wish to literally.
It's very Twilight Zone, where it's like, it's just an endless scroll of all entertainment that's ever been produced.
I would like to have all the movies from Blockbuster in my home, and then what you wish is what your wish is my command, and then you're like, wait a minute, 30 holiday movies, I don't want this, and you're like, we have gone too far.
Yep.
We need some direction. We need more categories. In fact, you should turn on Netflix and it should just go, this is it, one thing.
Yeah.
Just, there's no choice today.
Right, you turn it on and they're just like, because that's like what's on TV, right? It's just like, here's what we're watching. Because when we were kids, right, even without cable especially, you would turn on the TV and you'd be like, here's 6 options.
That's
and if
it.
you don't want to watch those things, go outside.
I guess I'm a Mary Tyler Moore fan now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it would be stuff like that. Like, and especially like we're the same age. Mm-hmm. We were caught between this, like, reruns were reruns, and new shows. So like reruns were like black and white I Love Lucy,
totally,
that was still in rerun, or like F Troop, and then or it was wait till 8 o'clock at night. That's when you get your
that's when the new
stuff
shows
in color.
Come on. It's not like Friday at 3 a.m. all of Stranger Things drops.
It's game over.
Yeah, you're like, it's Friday at 3 a.m. and I'm up. I guess I'm gonna watch a weird infomercial because my eyes got to point at something.
But that's the thing that made you more wide, more knowledgeable. Yep. You knew set it and forget it.
Yes.
Like that has kind of gone now. With you wake up at 3 a.m, you're not stuck on channel 6. No, you can get whatever you want. So I think for this person, they're totally right. We need genres. I don't think the genres, even like when I turn on Spotify, Spotify will be like pop, and then I get like today's hits. I want such specific genres. It's kind of weird.
I think on Netflix you should be able to, because there's the queue, right? But I think there should be like curated playlists, like the audio streaming services have, where you could be like, what did my friend Sarah watch when she was hungover?
Totally.
And it's like, these 6 episodes of 30 Rock, Happy Gilmore.
You ever turn on someone else's Netflix and it's a totally different front page?
Yeah.
and it's like bizarre. You're like, what planet did I just land on? That's what we need. I want Josh's front page.
Yeah.
I want to be able to like.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want my mom's front page. I want Aunt Lindsay's front page.
That would be such a fun.
Wouldn't that be great?
Feature to have? To just browse it from your account as if it was someone else. They would have to let you in. Obviously.
Well, you just find out that like you could follow someone, have a public profile.
Yeah, that would be smart.
And you get to, and you find out your friends like the biggest like Christmas movie person you've
watch
ever
through
met.
all the Hallmark movies like in the middle of the summer, and you're like, whoa, that's something I didn't know about you.
Because you turn on Netflix and you're like, wait a minute, there's game shows on here. Mm-hmm. That is the. Netflix, are you listening?
What are you doing? This is a $1 zillion idea.
JTrain podcast at gmail.com. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. Here with Josh Gondelman at Josh Gondelman on Instagram. Go follow. People pleaser. That is the special. It's on all streaming platforms.
Yeah.
We got Roku, Apple.
I mean, it's a great hungover watch, honestly.
Great hungover watch.
Very, very pleasant. Goes
Luxury
down
lounge.
easy.
BMW key fob.
Okay.
Last summer, I bought a new BMW. I love it. It's loaded with cool features and really fun to drive. One of my favorite features is that the key has a proximity sensor. The doors automatically unlock when you walk up to the car, and they lock when you walk away. No need to push the buttons on the remote. I leave my key in my work bag all the time now, so I don't have to take the key out to unlock or start the car. My complaint is that occasionally the sensor won't work. Mm-hmm. This results in me having to search to find the key that's lost somewhere in the dark abyss that is the bottom of my handbag. This feature works well 99% of the time, but that 1% is absolutely infuriating, especially since it inevitably fails when my arms are full and I don't have a free hand to look for the key. Thank you for giving the safe space to air this grievance. Sincerely, can't be bothered by these peasant locks. What do you think?
First of all, congratulations to this person for truly fulfilling the mission of the luxury
lounge.
I think that is.
They understood the assignment.
They came to play.
As the kids say. Yeah.
Yeah, they absolutely were ready for this.
Yeah.
I think there is something to like when you expect a convenience store, even if it's something you didn't have access to 1 year ago, the times that it doesn't work, you're just like, we were all counting on you.
All conveniences become needs.
Yes.
That's
a great way to put it.
Because
you get habituated so quickly.
Yes. And once it becomes your normal life, that's your normal life. Here's the other thing. I've had rental cars with this feature.
Yep.
It is a brutal feature if you are a little bit anxious about things not working.
Yes.
Here's my point. Because you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
It'll be in your pocket. You'll walk away. You'll press lock because I'm used to pressing the lock. And then I'll go, is it locked?
Yep.
And then I go to the door and it's open.
Because you got close to it. Right. It's like the checking if the oven's on, if the oven started when you opened your front door to your apartment.
This is exactly.
Yep.
So it drives me crazy.
Yes.
I have to put aside my crippling anxiety that I forgot to do something and just trust.
Yep. You have to like hit lock, record a phone memo that's like, I hit lock, but if someone steals this rental car because it unlocked, I'm at peace with that.
Yes.
And then just play that back for yourself later.
It's like, this is why I'm buying the insurance on rental cars now. I'm so worried that I didn't lock a car because I go back to it and I play. Every time I rent a car with this feature, I go back, I open it, and then it opens. I go, Jared, it's locked. Just stop worrying about it. Stop worrying about it. And you can't.
Right. You can't. It's in your head. And then I have to like talk myself down and be like, if it is unlocked, what's going to happen? I'm going into this. I'm picking up food in this place. Or I'm going into the show.
Yes.
Someone's going to go, what? Get in the car, steal the seats? Like,
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
And then now you're crazy guy in the parking lot talking to himself.
Just right. Talking it through, thinking it out.
What's going to happen, Josh? What's going to happen? Someo's like, wow, that guy's really lost.
Yeah, he's
it.
really
like,
lost.
no,
And then it's someone who's going to the show that you're outside. And you're like, oh, okay, all right.
Can't wait to see that guy.
Really getting fucking 8 Mile psyched outside.
JTrain podcast at gmail.com. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. We're sponsor people. Chime. Ooh, Chime. No one likes waiting on a paycheck, especially when you've got bills to pay. Thank goodness for Chime. Now you can get your paycheck up to 2 days early with direct deposit. That's up to 2 more days to save, pay bills, and generally feel good about your money situation. Chime is more than just about getting paid early. It's also an award-winning mobile app, checking account, debit card, and optional savings account. What are you waiting for? Hopefully not your paycheck. Get started with Chime today. Applying for a free account takes less than 2 minutes. Get started at chime.com/JTrain. That's chime.com/JTrain. Banking service and debit card provided by the Bancorp Bank or Stride Bank, NA members FDIC. Early access to direct deposit funds depends on payer. I think Chime's a great idea for anyone just looking to organize their banking life. What a great way. Online banking. It's great. Get your paycheck a couple days early. Love it. Luxury Lounge. Stadium View Hotel Room.
Okay.
Jared, Shelby, and guests. Feathers all around. Huge fan. Here's my complaint. Last Saturday, I booked my family, husband, 2 kids, and I, a one night in a luxury hotel in our major city. Okay, so they're like doing a staycation, so to speak. We had tickets to attend Sunday morning MLB game, so I chose the hotel that was attached to the stadium for both luxury and convenience. As a bonus, I upgraded to a field view room. We were able to watch the Saturday afternoon game. Sleeping over in the stadium was a very cool experience, but the hotel was obviously assuming that this alone was enough to justify the price. They apparently didn't give a single shit about comfort or the sleep quality or the sleep quality of their guests. The bathroom door was a barn-style door that didn't close all the way, leaving a 2-inch gap on one side. Despite this room being absolutely massive, we had 2 double beds for 4 people, the mattresses that felt like they'd been salvaged from a dumpster. The stadium lights stayed on all night, and curtains were too small for the windows, leaving the light of artificial day streaming into the room. This is brutal.
That's rough.
The hum and beeps of the floor waxing machines were audible most of the night, and at 3 a.m., an orchestra of gas-powered leaf blowers began running in unison. Apparently, this is how cleanup crews blow popcorn, peanuts, shells, and garbage out of the stadium seating.
That's tough.
This went on until 8 a.m. when the field crews came in to prep for the game. The hotel is obviously aware of the sleep issues as they left a little sample bottle of pillow spray on each bed with the caption, "Can't sleep? Try this." As if... Oh, well, help him out. Give him some oils.
It's just like a picture of a bunch of sheep. Like, count these.
As if oils would have solved any of the problems for $1,000 a night.
Wow.
A bathroom you can't poop in and a garbage sleep shouldn't be a remote possibility. The cherry on top, we had to be out by 9:30 a.m. because the room needed to be turned over for the Sunday game. Thanks for listening to my complaint. What do you think?
That's rough. I think there's a lot of these things that you're like, maybe I'll treat myself, right?
Yes.
And then when you do, especially hotels, where you're like, oh, this is like kind of a cool hip hotel. And then you're like, oh, there's no outlets and the sink only has cold water. You know what I mean?
I know, exactly.
They just like, they overlook the basics of what a hotel is.
That's the thing. And it's like, they get so caught up in what makes them cool.
Yes.
That they forget what makes them functional.
Yes. All the time.
All the time. I mean, this is the most extreme example because they're like, we're a stadium hotel. You're going to get to look onto the field. To me, not that cool.
Yep.
Okay? I understand that the kids are probably like, oh my God, there's a baseball stadium. But it's like, I think anytime you smash 2 things together, you lose out.
Yep. Always.
You know, shampoo and conditioner.
It's a futon,
ain't a great
the futon
wash.
experience.
Yes, that's right.
It's a couch. It's a bed, but is it either?
It's neither.
Yeah.
You have now given me 2 shitty experiences.
This is a futon of a hotel room.
Yes.
It's like, oh, you're at the game, you're in a hotel bed, but it's not.
No, this is garbage. They should turn. I mean, you've taken away from the baseball experience. What's better than walking up to Fenway Park, seeing the guy being like, hot dogs here with the cart, you know, people selling stuff, people scalping tickets.
Being part of a crowd cheering.
Totally.
Booing. Yeah.
And it's like this, that whole walk up gone.
Yep.
You're now in a Marriott.
Yep.
You know, like
totally
someone feeding you, you know, oh yeah, well, here's your breakfast while you can look out a window and see, you know, it's just, I understand why the idea of like, oh, we can open up our window to the game.
Yep.
At first thought, I understand it.
Totally.
The more I think about it, the more I hate it. Because also, these would be, you're taking also away the most hilarious people at a baseball game are the bleacher creatures.
So you've got bleacher quality views without the fun of this community experience. There's no beach ball being batted around.
No drunks.
Yep, no guy who made up a bunch of chants all week at his office, just getting ready to unleash him.
Yeah, this is the part of a baseball game that you remember. Like, I'll never forget going as a kid to Fenway Park and just the drunks.
Yeah.
Like, and again, these people can go too far.
Of course.
All the time.
Yeah.
But back in the day, there was some sort of there was a simplicity to them.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, I remember one time I was at a Red Sox game with my dad, and there was a guy behind us who kept going, "Get up! Come on, get up! Get up!" And he was so drunk, and we called him the section captain.
Yep.
Section captain, "Get up! Come on, get it up!" And we were like, and we would stand up at the game. We are going to be a part of, let's get up. We want to be a part of that. There was a guy that was next to us that was like, "I'm here on business." He had like a sweater vest and a tie. Right. And he's like, "I shall not be getting up." And this guy behind us was like, "Yo, you think you're too good to get up?" He's like the most Boston.
"You're too good to get up."
You think you're good
That's always the most. "You think you're too good for this?
You think you're better than us?
You think you're too good to sit in traffic? You're driving in the breakdown lane, guy." All right.
And then the guy behind us took his beer and threw it on the guy, the dweeb.
Yep.
And it's like, I'm more on section captain's guy than dweeb, not get up during the game guy. But I understand that section captain guy is a monster.
Yeah, you can't be doing that.
You can't throw your beer on someone.
It's funny. It's very funny to us to talk about now. I'm sure that guy was like, "I'm still here on business." Like, I flew out for this. My boss is next to me. This is going to reflect on my performance evaluation.
And now that guy has been taken out of the stadium by a courtyard by Marriott.
Yeah. And it's also like, I find sometimes like a mid-tier hotel that's just like, "Hey, we're just a humble hotel." It's great.
Yes.
Even when it's not a luxury brand, you're like, "Oh, I paid a reasonable amount of money, got a good night's sleep. The beds are good."
Hey, we're sorry there's no baseball stadium.
Yeah.
But we do have a comfortable bed, and there's going to be a water.
The towel fits all the way around your body. How about that?
Well, I go, you know what? I'll trade that for the baseball stadium.
Right. A baseball stadium plus 9:30 checkout. Get out of town.
9:30 checkout. They may as well just kick you in the nuts.
Yeah.
On your way out.
9:30.
That means you're waking up at 8:30.
Right. Getting your stuff together. Showering. With a family, too. That's rough.
JTrain podcast at gmail.com. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. Here with Josh Gondelman. People Pleaser. That's a special. Go watch it right now. It's in our bio. Got the links. It's all set up for you. Great date night. Great for a hangover. Mm-hmm. Luxury Lounge. News at the nail salon. Jared, an abundance of feathers. I moved into a new apartment this weekend and turned out to be pretty shitty, and then had a bad day at the office, so I decided to treat myself by going to the nail salon after work. I couldn't wait to get low-key sauce from free wine and watch HGTV, Food Network while getting pampered. But no. This time they had the news on every single TV, and each story got worse and worse. After 2 glasses of wine and several reminders of how terrible the world is, the last straw was when a reporter was going through a Ukrainian orphanage where a bunch of special needs children were abandoned by their family that were fleeing the war.
Oh, no.
The person under is like, "Do you want color?"
Yeah.
Like,
Gel.
Yeah.
And then
you're crying.
That is also the thing that if you were like writing it into your show, like, what's the thing on the news that breaks this person's spirit to have to watch while they're getting their nails done, like, luxuriously? It's like Ukrainian. That's a red flag right now, right? Something bad's happening. Orphanage, never a good word to hear. Special needs orphans. That's so heartbreaking.
Fleeing. People are fleeing. The reporter was going on and on about how the kids were all crying out for their parents and starved for attention because there was no one to take care of them. Oh, my God. This person just wanted to get their nails done.
Yeah, that's really rough.
I was almost in tears. Is it too much to ask to be able to throw a little pity party and judge other people's tacky home decor home decor choices without being reminded of the tragedies around the world, sincerely wiping my tears away with pretty nails?
It would have been so funny if the letter ended, "Psych, I'm one of those Ukrainian orphans, and it's my complaint.
Save us,
my parents." Right? Because that is yes, okay.
Horrible.
Yes, it is. It is. The news is important. It's important to know what's going on in the world, but for your own mental health, it is okay to take an hour away from life being stressful and just want to be like, right, Kitchen Island, real original.
Well, that's I totally agree. And this is the problem with the consistent drip of news you get. It used to be the news at 6.
Yep.
You'd come home, you go, okay, roll up my sleeves.
Yep.
News time.
Yep.
You know, we know the news at 6. I know mentally. There's something to that. Knowing 6 o'clock, okay,
That's
gonna
when
see
I
some
learned-
horrific shit.
Yep. I've steeled myself against
Yes.
the horrors of the world as I become aware of
I know
them.
what I'm getting into.
Yes.
Now it is a constant. Not, pull up Twitter, you'll be looking at, funny joke. Are you helping the Ukrainian orphans? And you're like, oh shit, how did I get, because 2 tweets next to each other, there should be 2 feeds.
Yes. You should be like, look, okay, I got to figure out what's going on. Or like, I'm just trying to have a good time while I'm in line to pay for my egg and cheese sandwich.
Totally. Because it also lessens the harsh news to me.
Yep.
Like when it comes, like when it's not news at 6, I go, just another thing.
Yep.
You feel somewhat helpless. Also, people are doing this now.
Yes.
People. I said to someone the other day, I go, happy, it was Friday.
Yeah.
And I go, hey, I'm getting my coffee, and I go, happy 4th of July. And they go, is it? And you go, just let me fucking say happy 4th of July.
Like,
Is it? And you're like, I don't know.
wait, what? I mean,
What do you think I tried to do to you?
Right.
What do you think I'm trying to like? This is my alt-right agenda is to go around saying Happy 4th. What do you think of that? Like that, it is so confrontational now that like I said Happy 4th and I thought this is just how people talk to each other.
like, enjoy the day off of work.
Yeah.
Because that's the one. I was talking with my wife yesterday about this, where I was like, I get that people are like, there are lots of bad things happening in the country that you don't feel like celebrating. Like, it's America's birthday, right? Okay. But normally on the 4th of July, I have a drink with friends.
Yeah.
I eat a hot dog. I'm not mailing an extra $2,000 of a birthday check to the government, to the IRS. Like, happy birthday, America.
Yeah, this is a gift to me.
Yes. Right.
Yeah.
I think, and especially you get it on the other end too, right? Like on Memorial Day, you go Happy Memorial Day, and they go, people died, and you're like, okay, am I taking it too seriously or not seriously enough?
Totally. It is so frustrating. And it's like, there are these people that are just walking sad Twitter feeds. And you're like, get away from me. They just shock you.
Right. You need to allow yourself to experience the things that are enjoyable when they come into your life. I think I think you have to like engage with the tough stuff, but we're in the luxury lounge, right?
That's why we created the lounge.
Yes.
It was birthed out of the sadness of depressing people.
And you can tell when someone lives their whole life in the lounge because you're just like, have you seen the news? And they're like, and they'll just be like, I know, new season of Selling Sunset. And you're like, that's not the news. It is reality, but it's not the news.
Yeah, there's some people that live their whole lives in the lounge, and you go, I can't be around your lack of cynicism. I can't be around this. And then there's some people that never go in the lounge at all.
And you got to visit.
And you got to visit.
Obviously, not everybody has the all access pass.
No,
but
not
when someone
everybody.
presents to you the lounge in hot dog, veggie dog. Hey, it's a Monday. You don't have to go into work.
Yes.
Enjoy your day.
I even said that to the person. I go, Happy 4th. And they go, is it? And I go, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on. Like, I'm just trying to get out of this conversation. Then they go, and I go, but are you taking work off? They're like, yeah, of course. And I'm like,
okay, that's
so
it.
you are doing it.
Yes.
So it's like, you can't take work off and say, is it to everybody?
Yeah. Right. I think that's it. If
You're a hypocrite.
If they also, like, if you were getting your coffee and you said it to the person behind the counter and they're like, I'm fucking here working, man. You're like, I get it. Yep, you're right. That's on me.
Different story. Or if you're like, hey, Happy 4th. And they're like, no, well, it's not that happy. You're celebrating? And you go, yeah, I guess I'm celebrating.
Yeah.
And then they go, well, I'm not. I'm going to actually be protesting all day. And I go, okay, you're allowed to say to me.
Of course. But if you're
But if you're also at a pool.
right, like, I'm going to be in a pool, but I'm going to be frowning.
Yeah.
I'm in an infinity pool pondering the infinite cruelty of human beings towards one
It
another.
just feels like you're trying to let me know you're better than me for not thinking of it in the fashion you thought of it.
Yes. Yeah. Agreed.
JTrain podcast at gmail.com. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. Luxury Lounge, online shopping favorite lists.
Okay.
JTrain, love the pod, sending all the feathers. I'm going to get right into my complaint. I was online shopping in an H&M's app, and I like to save items to my favorites as I'm scrolling and deciding what to buy later. However, mid-scroll down, this never-ending page of T-shirts, it says my favorites is full, and I cannot save anymore unless I delete some from the list.
Okay.
It's weird to save space on the internet.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
The internet's full.
Yeah. Like, we have an unlimited amount of space in the cloud.
Yep.
And you're telling me, 10 favorites.
Yeah.
Nobody has more.
Like, what does it cost you? 1/100th of 1 penny per year to have my favorites there?
So you want me to lose my spot and scroll to go delete something and come back? I was so annoyed I just gave up and didn't purchase anything. So what they're saying is I can have unlimited items in my cart, but not my favorites list. I agree with this.
Yeah. Bad user design.
That's right. And user designs make you give up.
Yes.
Like if you're encountering an app where it's not working exactly how you feel it should work, you go, I'm out of here.
You're done.
Done.
And it'll be something like I'll see like a targeted ad on Instagram and I'll be like, you got me. And I'll click on it, like Target acquired right through the heart.
Sure.
And I'll be like, I'm going to buy this. But the thing that will make me not buy it, sometimes it'll be like, wait a minute, that cardigan is $700.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Who do you think I am?
Right. Oh, never mind. You were off Target.
Yeah.
I'm more of a Target ad person.
Yes,
I'm sending an ad from Target. But but if it's like, I try to buy it, and then it's like, actually, you need to make an account, and it's 3 steps. I'm like, I'm out of here.
Game over.
Yep.
Nobody wants to make an account. Nobody wants the email from you. We want to get this purchase done and run the fuck out of this store.
Let me check out his gas.
Yeah, and not have to deal with. Because what it makes you realize is like, how much do I really want to buy this?
Yes.
With these frivolous targeted ads, it's like, I want to buy this and run out of here and act like it never happened.
Yes. And then it shows up in the mail 4 days later. I'm like, that's fun.
Yeah, good for me.
This t-shirt that I spent $30 on is incredibly uncomfortable and I'll never wear it. It's not about wearing it. It's about the 4 seconds of endorphins I got while I was purchasing it.
Absolutely.
And if you're putting off that 4 seconds with like 90 seconds of clerical work, I'm not going to do it.
No, you're making me chew on the medicine of I have to, I guess I'm buying this.
Right.
I'm really doing this.
Yep.
I'm going to sign up for an account. Do I really need this t-shirt? Do I need this? Do I need this? No, I don't need this. You're out.
Yep, I'm out. And that's fine, right? If like you don't need every t-shirt.
No.
But it does make the experience work.
I have to say, I've been ordering a lot of Bears stuff because my brother works for the Bears
Oh,
now.
cool.
So I have a discount code that gets me 50% off. I have bought so much stuff just because I can get in and out of that website in literally under a minute.
That's amazing.
And you go, I ordered an XL and I was like, I think it's a little big. And I was like, maybe I'll order the large too. I went on the site, large, 2 seconds. Now I got 2 of them.
Same thing with like, I'm looking at this. My sister's birthday is coming up. This is like a nice thing that she'd like. You take Apple Pay? Bang, bang, bang.
Game
Done.
over. Apple, once again, running the world. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. Here in the Luxury Lounge. Keep sending your lounge complaints. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. Here with Josh Gondelman. Go check out the special. People Pleaser. Go watch Jesus and Marrow. Go watch it Showtime. But more importantly, People Pleaser, the special. The link is in the bio of this episode. Luxury Lounge. Annoying social media terms. Okay. Jared, love the pod and look forward to your TED Talk. Thank you. My complaint is everyone on Instagram and Facebook, etc., using the most annoying phrases for normal things. It's one thing to do a birthday post, but when you put a tilde, another trip around the sun, a tilde. Is that an tilde? Is my wavy line? I don't know what else is a tilde. It almost pushes me over the edge. Another one people love to use about being happy is our hearts are so full. I just think people should relax a bit. Yeah, I don't like this either. I don't like that these things become things where, do they know we see them from other people?
Right. Do you think that I think you wrote another trip around the sun?
Yeah.
The first person who wrote it was probably like, swish, count it. Steph Curry in the finals.
Right.
Another trip around the sun? Are you kidding me? Because the Earth did that? Get out of here.
Personal is interesting.
Yes.
This faux personal thing, our hearts are so full. The second time I see our hearts are so full, the first time I saw it, I go, wow.
It's beautiful. Right.
Shit.
The birth of your child did that to you?
Fill the heart. I didn't even know they could be filled.
I didn't even know they could be empty.
Yeah. Then the third time I saw it from this, woman out of a, Ethan Allen catalog,
Sure.
just going, then I start reading it in the make fun of voice.
Sure.
The first time I read it, our hearts are so full, I go, wow, what a moment.
That's beautiful.
Third time, our hearts are so full.
Typed it into Instagram with a quill pen, just like
Yeah, because it does feel like they're trying to pull a fast one.
yeah. Well, it's also there are times where like you just don't have the words and you lean on the cliche, and it's like a birthday party isn't one of those times.
No. And the thing about cliches is like we're in a post-cliche society now.
Ooh, this is a good one.
Right?
I appreciate this take.
So,
I like this. Yeah.
Because of the internet, because we can all see what everyone writes, there's no version. The internet is a large and depressing place because you realize how alike everyone is. So this idea that you're writing a thing that you know is a cliche,
Yes.
trying to pawn it off as not a cliche.
But like
But we know there's too much information out
once
there.
it's been carved into wood and they sell it at Target, like we can't say it like it's a revelation anymore.
No.
And there's certain cases, right, where like when something's really sad and someone's like, my grandfather died, our lives will never be the same. And you're like, our lives will never be the same. Like, you don't want to make fun of that. You're like, yeah, that's
No,
really
you
sad.
can't make fun of that.
But when someone's like turning 27 and another trip around the sun, you're like, how often do you think about that you're traveling around the sun?
Yes.
Like that you're in orbit?
But the thing is, one is honest and one is dishonest.
Yes.
One is trying to let us know I'm a trip around the sun person.
Yeah.
The other one is trying to let us know, yeah, life is never going to be the same. Grandpa fucking Jack is dead.
Yeah,
You know?
Right. Words have failed me, and I'm leaning on these other words I've heard. But like, you don't need to do that. I'm like very grateful for what this is too, because this is the kind of slang that I'm like, yeah, I get it. Because I feel like there's sometimes you see people complaining about slang, and you're like, that's actually just like someone took that from like black gay drag shows, and the person who took it is being annoying.
Yes.
And this is just like, it started, like you said, the first time someone said this, you're like, oh, our hearts are so full. What a beautiful turn of phrase. And now that everybody has to do it every anniversary, you're like, just say your own thing. Just be like, I love Beth.
Yeah.
We have a good time together.
Love Beth is never going to be on a wooden plank inside of a Walmart.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Unless you have a whole display of all the names.
Yes, I love Erica.
Beth.
I love Steve. I love Dawn. I love Beth.
Unless-
No semblance of alphabetical order in the
No.
gesture I'm doing.
None whatsoever, unless it becomes the play, the
license plate
keychains. It ain't gonna happen.
Right.
So, and it's like, specific to you is always
Yes,
better than
always better.
trying to we see with stand up, like stand up has kind of become this. It's gone from like women be like
Yes, yeah.
to I had this experience with a woman in my life,
Yes.
and now I'll let you go over the bridge of relatability.
Sure. And I think it's better for so many reasons. It's better because like you're talking about the thing that really happened to you, which is always more interesting and draws people in, right? Like with the listener questions, be specific.
Yeah.
And it's nice because you can be like, I had this experience with a person. I'm not going to put this on everybody that shares a characteristic with them, but it is funny to talk about.
Yes, and it's also there's an element of judgment that
Yes.
comes in.
Yep.
Our hearts are so full is we understand
What love is.
love
Yeah, this
so
is
much
a
more
different-
than you.
Yeah. It's just like, just say the thing that's real to you.
JTrain podcast at gmail.com. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. We got one more. We got time for one more, Shelby? This one's a great one. We're here with Josh Gondelman. Everyone go follow Josh at Josh Gondelman on Instagram and Twitter. Go, go, go. Luxury Lounge. The I have cash guy.
Okay.
Jared. All the feathers. My complaint is something that has bothered me for a long time. I was out to dinner the other night with friends, and we're having a great time. Drinks are flowing. The food was cooking. Great conversation. Then it came time for the check. The normal thing with my friends to do is for one person to put it on their credit card, and the rest sends them money via any money app out there. Easy, done, but there is always that one person who says, oh, I have cash. I don't have Venmo. Now I'm inconvenienced to take this cash and deposit it at my bank. I'm doing the favor of putting the bill on my card. Why should it now be my problem to take the cash to the bank to get it back into my account? It's crazy to me. Download Venmo like a normal fucking person and don't be the I have cash guy. I know I can't be the only one frustrated with this horrible 20th century problem. Totally agree.
Interesting.
Right.
Yeah. I never thought about this problem before.
Oh, I
because
think
I'm
about it all
starting
the
to realize
time.
that I might be the I have cash guy.
Really?
Yeah.
So group dinner, everyone's like throwing a card. Are you throwing in a card? Or you go, I have cash.
I'll do whatever is convenient. Like I have Venmo, I don't have Cash App. So like sometimes I'm out of luck. I'm not
Sure.
I'm like, this is enough apps for me to have to do this.
I get it. I think everyone, to me, I want everyone to do what I do because what I do is great
it's the
and everyone
easy
else
one.
is stupid.
Yep, you get it. It's easy. You have a system. It's in
Yeah.
place. Totally. And I don't mean to say that this writer, emailer is wrong. I'm just like thinking about things in a new way right now.
This emailer could not be, they're right and they're wrong. One, group dinner, it should be everyone throws a card in the middle. No more, because the person who puts it on their card, they're doing everyone a favor, but they're not. They're like,
They're getting
getting
points.
points.
They're getting
Okay?
points.
Every
That's
time,
why somebody's volunteering.
every time I see the one person, no, I'll pay. You
Yeah.
guys Venmo me. I
Yeah,
go,
we know your game.
Yeah,
This
I don't want to be a
isn't
part of
slick.
your shell game of getting you more Delta miles.
Then, right, you see them in the Delta Lounge on Instagram, and you're like, that was my entree that did that.
Right. Now, if everyone, it should go, the majority rules. It should be. We live in a democratic society, majority rules. If everyone, you say, hey, pull out a card. If everyone but one person goes, well, I don't have a card,
Yep.
or I got cash,
Yep.
you go, no. 9 cards
you gotta
to
do the
0
thing
to
that we're
1.
doing.
You got to do the thing we're doing. Pull out a credit card, or you're going to have to go in the kitchen. You're going to work off your...
Yeah. But it's not dead to them. It's dead to me because I'm taking so you're coming to my house and
Yes.
you're going to do my dishes.
You're going to do my dishes. We're going to pay for you. We're going to take on...
Yep.
To me, it's cards or cash. This whole thing of like, I'll Venmo you,
Yeah.
you Venmo... No. We either split it, or we split it no matter what,
Yeah.
and we either go plastic or paper.
Yep.
It's like the grocery store.
It's also if one person throws down the card, I will say, how much cash are you reimbursing them for dinner that they're like, this is a transaction?
Yeah,
now?
it is interesting that they're like, I got to go to the bank.
Yeah, because if it's one person who's like, here's $60, I'm always like, sure, I'll carry $60.
I'm gonna have $60 will come in need at some
Yeah,
point.
yeah. I'll have to tip for something in cash. I'll be at a bar that's cash only.
Sure.
Buying a T-shirt like somewhere that their scanners down or whatever.
Yeah.
That's fine. But
You buy a lot of T-shirts.
buy a lot of T-shirts. It's a big problem. My drawer's full. I get too many T-shirts, too many sneakers, too many T-shirts. But that's the thing, you know what I mean? Like I'm never unhappy to have like a few bucks extra in cash. But I do get when you're like, we're doing the thing. Can you just participate?
Can you
in the
just
thing?
go with the fucking flow?
Yeah.
I have Venmo and I have Zelle. I
Yep.
think those are two.
I have that too.
Good. And Zelle's good because it's bank to bank.
Yep.
Venmo's good because it's person to person.
Yep.
There, I'm in the game. But as far as a group dinner is concerned,
Yeah.
if you're sitting there going, I have cash, well, now no one gives a shit.
Right.
We have all thrown a card in the middle. We don't have to do any math. None.
You tip
We're
on your
done.
own thing. Yep.
We this group dinner was a great experience. You're gonna ruin it now by going off
With like, okay, so
grid?
you put in $40 and now, because it's already like, if you're putting down 8 cards or whatever, I mean, like that's,
Yeah.
but like if you're putting down 3 cards, that's a little bit more the server has to do. And then to be like, okay, now what you have to do with this cash, you take that as a tip. And it's
No.
just to like make them use mixed media art.
I think the servers always appreciate it to do the cards. They go,
Right.
you know, and now the whole machine is made to be splitting up stuff. They have it built in.
for sure. And especially if it's a few people, then you're like, great. When it's like a bunch of people, if it's like 10 people and one person is like, I'll put it on my card, I am kind of like, oh, I bet one swipe is nice for them, but I'm still like, I know what you're doing with the points.
Yeah.
It's so many points.
The helpful, non-helpful person.
If you just say, and I'll get points from it, I'm like, hey.
At least you've been honest.
Yeah, Mazel Tov. Enjoy your points.
JTrain podcast at gmail.com. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. Josh Gondelman, thank you for coming
Thank you, Jared. This is a blast, man.
Always a
so
blast.
much fun.
The lounge, so happy to have you people. We're here every Thursday. We're in the lounge. We're taking your complaints. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. Go check out Josh's special, People Pleaser. It is all over the place. It's going to be the link is in the description of this episode. Also, Jesus and Mero, go watch it on Showtime. I'm Jared Freid. We're here every Thursday. We'll be back next week. Boom.